Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be a 2v2 Warcraft 3 Nations match between ToD and KraV, going up against I guess I would say Franzyzz and DonSenilo. Yeah, I don't quite know how to pronounce those names. I will perhaps just refer to them by their color. Red versus blue on this matchup. Red team having one orc and one night elf going up against, well, one human and one undead. All four races being represented in this Warcraft 3 Nations matchup, as we're looking at KraV opening up, well, with an interesting build that you would not normally see in a 1v1. Now, oftentimes people ask me, how do 1v1 skills translate into 2v2? And well, the gameplay in a 2v2 is just that much faster. Normally, in a 1v1 game, you don't have enough units really to put pressure onto an opponent's base, especially an undead base. And because of that, well, you can kind of build your buildings a little bit differently, and you, as an undead, you don't really need to wall out. However, as an undead player in a 2v2, even with your blight advantage, you may not be able to hold off against two heroes and other production units unless your opponent is there as well. That's something that, well, 2v1 makes it very difficult for you to open up with. And oftentimes, if you are able to hold off 2v1, say trade efficiently while sitting on your own blight, your partner can then, well, do a little bit of creeping and get experience that way and get a little bit of an advantage as well. It's one of those things where you and your teammate have to know what the strategy is going in out of the gate. Also, teching the tier 2 is generally a little bit more delayed in 2v2, as you generally want a little bit more units out onto the battlefield. All right, scout farm is being placed down off over here on the high ground, so ToD will see what is coming around the corner. Thank you for the host already early on, as we're looking at um, well, a peon trying to get away. Is that peon going to get taken down? Yes, it does. Gets taken down. Militia, water elemental, all in position out here. However, Farseer is ready for that harass. Water elemental, well, one water elemental left. All right, and ToD quickly says, you know what? I don't want to play this game. Let me go ahead and just back away, get in some damage here. And well, we are going to look at a Farseer trying to get that last hit onto that water elemental, and that water elemental just quickly gets cleared out. All right, so what is the orc player trying to do? The orc player is actually looking to see what's happening here at high ground right here. And well, ToD has a welcoming party already in position, as we are looking at headhunters joining in on the fight. So far, the Night Elf and the Orc heroes are just pretty much trying to shut down any sort of expansion play. But what is going to actually end up hurting ToD is that he doesn't have that Brilliance aura. It's not that he really needed that expansion early on, but he did need that Brilliance aura. Otherwise, he's going to find himself behind overall in terms of, well, the amount of experience. All right, when did Farseer started being used? I remember he was least used. No, Farseer has become significantly more popular. Farseer, Tauren Chieftain, Blade Master, Shadow Hunter has always been those types of 1-2 combinations that work out well. And with the rise in the popularity of the Tauren Chieftain as the second hero, well, it actually moved Farseer up a little bit more, because the Blade Master, you kind of want both of your heroes not to be in the same line, right? You want a frontline hero and a backline hero. Having a Farseer work with that synergy works out very well, as opposed to, say, a Blade Master and a Tauren Chieftain. Yes, the Blade Master does benefit from that endurance aura, but at the same time, in the same way, it doesn't really come out ahead nearly as much as you would like. Also, having both units in that front line can become a little bit of a dicey scenario, as your consumable items need to be split not just between one hero, but both, as both of them could possibly get surrounded in that front line spot. All right, entangle onto a footman of ToD, that will get taken out here. We're looking at the Night Elf with headhunters and huntresses clearing things out once more. Yep, so far we only see ToD's hero there. We are getting up to level 2 on that Archmage. Gonna pick up a Gloves of Haste. And are we going to see a potential tech to tier or expansion? It doesn't look like it. It looks as though we are just going to go ahead and tech into tier 2 instead. Tech to tier 2 has already gotten underway, as we're looking at KraV getting to level 2 as well. However, clearing out this center fountain is going to be incredibly important in this matchup. If you have access to the heals, that works out very well, as both sides also got to level 2 here. All right, mass headhunters coming in here. Footmen, archmage now making their way back off to the north here. It doesn't look like ToD's army is quite really that large. And what are we looking at here? 31 over 41 supply. Gonna go ahead and drop a footman with defend already here. There's a quick detonation. Archmage gets blasted with a quick detonation. But this Orc Burrow could end up getting taken down. All right, if this Orc Burrow is taken down before the Great Hall, are we going to see the hero? That is the question. We should be looking at the hero already getting added in here. Why aren't we seeing that hero? No, we're going to just see crazy aggression now coming in. ToD needs to find a way to defend, as it is going to be a 2-on-1. And with only one arcane tower, that is not going to be enough to defend this spot here. All right, home field advantage pretty much lost. Chain lightning ripping through all of those peasants, as ToD needs to find a way to try and, well, hold on to this location here. Meanwhile, Archmage and Footmen are just attacking down this one Orc Burrow, and little good is it going to do, as that Farseer is already going to end up getting trained up. All right, training a scroll town portal. Is the Burrow going to get taken down? No, it is not. A lot of lumber lost here. Are we going to get some repairs? Yes, we are, but the Blood Mage is now lost, and now ToD must be fuming. All right, Altar of Kings trying to be rebuilt. Footman with defend right there. Death Knight going to go in and Death Coil, try to finish off a couple of those peons as well. Footman with defend trying to attack, as we're looking at more damage coming across here. Death Knight leading the charge here, as the Death Knight going to go around the corner, perhaps try to provide a little bit of unholy aura as the Footman chase down. No. All right, strong counter attack by the Night Elf and Orc army, able to put in pressure. Meanwhile, Huntress is now making their way back over here. All right, Archmage sitting at level 2. Crypt Fiends, Footmen in that front line spot. We're looking at, well, what is going on here? Ogre Lord trying to get trapped here. And we are looking at a potential semi-surround shockwave coming back through, as the Ogre Lord now able to slip through. I would have thought one more Headhunter would have positioned right here, forcing the Ogre Lord to walk around all of those units. And by walking around all of those units, getting in a lot of free damage. All right, Ogre Lord still engaging pretty easily here. Goblin Shredder now going to get added in once more. Are we going to see a third shockwave added in? The third shockwave, does go down, but doesn't really do anything there, as it is pushed onto the wrong side. Endurance Aura given to the Farseer, kind of hilarious at this point, as that is not the item they were looking for. Meanwhile, Archmage and Death Knight working together here. Huntresses, Sorceresses, there you are. There's going to be some slow Archmage now trying to put in some pressure here. A couple of Trents going to be left behind to try and slow things up, as the Huntresses and the Keeper of the Grove pretty much not really knowing where to go right now. I think they're going to try and head off over towards the expansion location, but there is no expansion there to take down. And without an expansion there to take down, the Night Elf just basically ran around the map for no real reason, and is not going to get any real advantage, as we're looking at, well, a Huntress is now running on inside here. All right, Scout Tower down to 240 hit points. Crypt Fiends are going to be here as well. There's a big Frost Nova across single units there, and that Wand of the Wind is actually going to cause a little bit of issue right there. Death Knight unable to Death Coil any additional units, as the Blood Mage finally going to be trained up. All right, Blood Mage sitting at level 1. Siphon mana back into that Death Knight. All right, if the Undead ever had, if the Undead ever had mana issues before, even though they have access to Obsidian statues, Brilliance Aura from an Archmage coupled with a Blood Mage and Siphon mana, there may just simply be, well, nukes for days. All right, this map is really cool with all those cliffs. Yeah, Lost Temple, an oldie but a goodie of a map. I'm not quite sure how balanced it is. I know it is a very popular map for human players who really wanted to, well, set up expansions early on. But yeah, I think as my human bias shows, since I like this particular map, a lot of early, relatively easy creep camps, as ToD going into Footmen and Casters. A strategy you don't really see all that much, as we're going to look at the Tauren Chiefs and now trying to back away. Blood Mage does not have enough mana to try and siphon right there, as we're looking at both sides just still clearing things up. Prefer the winter version. I don't like the winter version all that much. Orc players and human players generally don't like the winter version, since more units have frost armor. as their or more creeps have frost armor, making it significantly more difficult for any melee units to really creep. Generally, early on, well, Undead has access to crypt fiends much earlier than normal, and I will also say, well, Night Elf doesn't really get affected by frost armor nearly as much. Coming back around, double water elementals here, going to take down this creep camp. Ring of protection +3 left behind. Footmen are just still like living the dream here, attacking multiple footmen. All right, Lich getting taken out. Where did the Lich get taken out? I didn't even see an engagement. All right, Scroll of Town Portal, Death Knight now backing up there. My apologies, missing that action. It looked as the Death Knight got creep jacked by the Tauren Chieftain Farseer and also the Keeper of the Grove. Lich getting taken out, but Lich was only, I believe, at level 1, so it should get resurrected relatively fast. Back off to the north here, we're looking at the Blood Mage, Sorceress, Water Elemental, Archmage. ToD bought a one-way trip into this space here. Going to be using that Scroll of Town Portal to head back home. Tauren Chieftain throws down a stomp, but well too far behind. That Blood Mage able to just stay that distance, as well as the entire back line of units. Those, well, Priest and Sorceress able to retreat back out. Lich was level 2. All right, Lich was level 2. So Lich resurrected at the tavern instead. Lich resurrected at the tavern. We are looking at double expansions coming in from the Red Army. Meanwhile, well, we have a ninja expansion by ToD pretty much, as this expansion is up and running. Meanwhile, Footmen now need to retreat back here. Are we going to see use of high ground here? Archmage, Water Elementals here. Are they actually just going to try and fight onto a high ground location where you actually have a little bit of an advantage? And what was going on there? Oh, the Scroll of Town Portal canceled because the Tree of Life was destroyed in time. So it is now 3 bases to 3 bases per team. These, well, ToD has to be upset. Why aren't these peons or peasants mining at all? He should notice that there is a bunch of peasants that are idle. That idle peasant button and introduction from WarCraft 3 also brought over to StarCraft 2 as well. We finally see some peasants now doing a little bit of mining. Siphon mana away from that. A Keeper of the Grove. Are we going to see an entangle? Yes, we are right there. Dispel Magic. Water Elemental up on the high ground. Acid Bomb going down across multiple units. Are we going to see more damage getting added up? Perhaps taking down that one low hit point Huntress. It does. And now an Alchemist could end up getting surrounded pretty easily. No. The Huntresses are joining back in. There's another Siphon mana. Blood Mage just taking mana away from his opponent, as we still don't see any sort of flame type. Tauren Chieftain going to be coming in from the back. Archmage, oh, beautiful use of that Wand of the Wind at just the right moment. But, well, every good turn deserves another, as the Archmage is now going to be trapped there because the Farseer use. There goes a stomp, and the Archmage falls at level 3. ToD is actually in a bit of trouble here, trying to retreat back. KraV trying to help his partner, as we can see the Keeper of the Grove being forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal. All right, Kodo Beast able to eat up a unit, but how much damage is it really going to end up being able to get away, as the Death Knight now gets up to level 4? All right, Rifleman, one guard tower trying to hold on here. Archmages, well, doing its best to get resurrected, as the Farseer, well, being forced to retreat back as well. Blood Mage is still out onto the field, as there is just action all over the place. Now, what are the options for the Night Elf and the Orc? It feels like they are in control of this game so far, forcing well, ToD and KraV to just move around, and their teamwork and their synergy and their timing, it just seems to be just top notch right now, knowing how long each of their players, how long it's going to take to get there. Meanwhile, Mountain Giant, 0-2 upgrades on the Mountain Giant, and able to absorb a good amount of damage here. Healing Spray also being added in, as the Keeper of the Grove will be able to get to level 4. Coming back around, KraV going for the full Undead trifecta tri-hero, as we're going to be looking at a Granite Golem there. All right, Crypt Lord, Frost Armor, gonna go ahead and try and engage here. Death Knight purposely actually keeping a little bit of distance. Gonna get a Death Coil onto that Crypt Lord, but still try to keep his distance quite a bit to try and get that Crypt Lord up into higher levels. All right, meanwhile, what are those Red Drakes doing? Red Drakes, oh, another Death Coil right there, as we're looking at another Granite Golem gonna get taken out. What is this? Scepter of Mastery. Take controls of a target enemy unit. Cannot be used on heroes or creeps above level 5. So being able to just well, charm a single unit right there. These level 6 drakes, however, are immune. Meanwhile, back across here, Tauren Chieftain, Headhunters, Archmage are all back into position. Blood Mage trying to stay alive. Scroll of Town Portal, well, being used there, and it looked as though perfect timing. Are we going to see the Archmage fall? No, we are not. Blood Mage now being forced to resurrect as we're looking at the Keeper of the Grove and now the Mountain Giants making their way off here. This expansion is going to be in dire need of protection as the Night Elf already setting up Ancient Protector off here. But well, fighting into this location is always dangerous, as the only way out is through a Scroll of Town Portal by yourself as well. All right, repairs could be getting underway. Are we going to see those repairs right there? Trent's now joining in on the fight. There is the repairs. One Ancient Protector about to be completed. Healing Spray keeping those units alive and well too, as we're looking at the Archmage, Death Knight now making their way over. All right, how much damage can be done? We're looking at no masonry upgrade at all. Guard towers, how much damage can we get added in here as we're looking at the Destroyer showing up on the fight. Town Hall down to 174 hit points and dropping quickly down to single digits now. Keeper of the Grove being forced to retreat back as the Town Hall looks like it will hold at 118 hit points. I think it actually went down into triple digits here. But what is going on here? Death Knight now needs to teleport back out. As we can see, the Tauren Chieftain is in trouble. Berserkers are online. Tauren Chieftain trying to get his way out, but the Blood Mage, Tauren Chieftain, trying to get away here. Oh, there goes an Impale. The Impale actually stopping the Siphon mana as we're looking at a couple of units just trying to retreat. There goes another, well, a Shaman. All right, Blood Mage made his way out just in time, and Impale tried to stop any of those units. We do have, we do have Scepter of Mastery. That Crypt Lord has the ability to take a very high level unit. Can the Scepter of Mastery be used on a Mountain Giant? I know that the Mountain Giant normally has a natural resistance, but then magic immune units can still be charmed. So yeah, can the Scepter of Mastery be used? Or where is that Scepter of Mastery? Was it sold? No, it's on the Archmage now. All right, so ToD perhaps going to try and steal one of those Mountain Giants a little bit later, or charm a Kodo Beast. That would work as well. I don't know. The Kodo Beast would represent a big damage bonus, especially, or a big damage swing, especially if there's only one Kodo Beast out onto the field. But the Mountain Giant seems like it would be overall better since it is a larger supply unit. But the last thing you want to do is use that item and then all of a sudden go into low or go into high upkeep at this stage, as we're going to look at this Tree of Life get pressured down. All right, a couple of Wisps coming over for the detonation. There's Blizzard. There's a quick entangle onto the Archmage. There's a Flame Strike coming through, and now in come the Mountain Giants. 03 upgraded Mountain Giants. And what are we going to see any of that being used there? There is another Blizzard being rained down as the Headhunters are now trying to join in on the flight. Flame Strike coming in, and so much AoE damage coming across. Meanwhile, we are looking at both the Archmage and the Death Knight with a get out of jail free card named Scroll of Town Portal after that hit and run tactic. It looks like the veteranness of KraV and ToD is starting to come into play now. They have been playing extremely well with those hit and run tactics onto their opponent. And, well, supply count, we're looking at 68 compared to 50. So ToD still sitting in low upkeep, 68 for the Undead and 59. So the Night Elf Orc player still has a slight advantage in terms of overall army size. However, economically speaking, ToD should be okay right now, as we're looking at the units perhaps going to try and engage once more. All right, getting in a Goblin Shredder that actually walked out into the middle of the field for no apparent reason. Why would you even include a Goblin Shredder onto the battlefield here, as ToD may end up losing this expansion now? All right, what is going on? Headhunters going after the Town Hall. Tauren Chieftain may try and land up a stomp. That is a lot of, well, frenzied, bloodlusted berserkers. Tauren Chieftain comes in with a lightning shield. It doesn't even need the stomp. Don't know, that is just, yeah, frenzied, bloodlusted. Average attack speed, oh, it's no longer frenzied. There we go. So you can have Bloodlust, and then once you frenzy them, their damage just goes through the roof. Meanwhile, it looks like multiple expansions could get taken down. Multiple peons going to get taken out there, as the Town Hall, well, going to be forced to get cleared. Meanwhile, once you force a Scroll of Town Portal at one base, it is just going to end up moving that entire base somewhere else. Archmage going to go in and use the Scroll of Town Portal. Chain Lightning. Oh, Kodo Beast was tried to be stolen. And what you needed to do if you're going to really try and steal a Kodo Beast is you needed the staff on that Blood Mage. If the staff is on the Blood Mage, you can use the staff right as that Scroll of Town portal takes all of those units away. By keeping the staff on the Archmage, who also used the Scroll of Town portal, that Kodo Beast was simply exposed for far too long. Blood Mage now looking to retreat back here. Archmage, well, in a little bit of trouble trying to hide inside his base. There is quintuple mountain giants here, an amazing front line, but there is no real damage dealers that I see anywhere else. Abominations O2 upgrade. Are we going to get perhaps some disease cloud cast across all of these units, or spread across all of these units here? But remember, you do not want your disease cloud to actually go to your partner, as disease cloud can you affect? Oh, apparently it cannot. Not affecting its own units. All right, we're going to be looking at an engagement here. Mountain Giant, Blood Mountain Giants, so much in that front line. Blizzard, a chain, Blizzard, Flame Strike, all coming down. Many of those Berserkers could end up getting taken down. Even with a Scroll of Healing, it looks like some of them will get taken down, especially after a well lined up Impale by KraV to ensure that those units were just stuck right there. All right, there in comes a Stomp. Are we going to see another Impale? It seems like a perfect lineup right there. More units trying to retreat back once more. There goes that other Impale again. Kodo Beast taking so much damage. Tauren Chieftain throwing down a Stomp, but that damage is just racking up so much. Archmage getting an invisibility and, well, able to get away at 55 hit points. Beautifully saved right there. Meanwhile, Mountain Giants, are they going to end up getting taken down? Yes, another Mountain Giant bites the dust, and KraV and ToD definitely have the advantage now. Units are in a massive retreat. Kodo Beast with an Abomination in its belly. The Abomination reporting back to KraV what is going on the map. And what is going on is, well, the units are retreating, which will give the Archmage plenty of opportunity to heal up. And, well, are we going to get some heals onto that Archmage as well, in addition to that Obsidian statue? Yeah, that Archmage should regenerate hit points very quickly at this Fountain of Health, as we are still looking at, well, 3 bases for both teams right now. Gonna be down to 1 base. Wait, nope. Yeah, 1 base soon, as DonSenilo does not have this expansion up and running yet.
A player's forces
All right.
are under attack.
Armies getting ready to make their way back over. The Berserkers, well, trying to catch up that distance once more. How much damage will they be able to do? This expansion gonna get destroyed before it even gets up and operational. There's a quick detonation, actually revealing the Archmage as well. A blind detonation finding an invisible unit. Does human have gold to buy Blood Mage? Is the Blood Mage getting resurrected? Blood Mage is getting resurrected off over here. Level 3 Blood Mage, level 2 Siphon Mana, level 1 Flame Strike, as we're also looking at ToD doing a bit of long distance mining. Now, KraV at this point should be giving a bit of gold to ToD at this point and stage in the game. ToD is actually sitting at 50 over 60 gold. He has to be careful, though. He's actually going to start running into... no, he doesn't run into those units at all. What is this peasant doing? This peasant is even trying... oh, he's building a scout tower there just to keep track of what is going on here. Meanwhile, the dire wolves were chasing after those units. Are they going to be able to get in? Yep, get in that damage once more. All right, Sorceress is showing up to the party. Priest, all right, there's some invisible, there's some Devour Magic, shutting those units down. Or was it a resummon? Nope, it was not a resummon. Tree of Eternity, already walking over to the top right-hand side of the map. It doesn't really matter. Staff of Preservation has not been used prominently in this map, in this matchup so far. And, well, it could just turn into an economic game. Lich with a fast attack speed right now. That's going to be very scary with that Orb of Corruption, as we're looking at KraV about to set up his second Undead gold mine. All right, Ivory Towers, or towers quickly being set up off over here. Double scout towers. They do have detection, so, well, those shadow wolves will not be able to easily get in that much damage. Meanwhile, coming back across here. All right, I thought nope, still no control magic. Blood Rifleman right there with Bloodlust, as we're looking at both sides, both expansions of KraV actually getting pestered right now. All right, those shadow wolves those dire wolves should be able to do a lot of damage here. Meanwhile, Trent's now putting pressure onto the other expansion here. It is going to be 2 bases to 2, but who's going to come out ahead? All right, there goes a bunch of Bloodlust Abomination's getting entangled. Archmage, there goes a Flame Strike across that front line unit. A lot of damage getting added in. Are we going to see a Blizzard? There's a Blizzard right there, but what is he doing? KraV is already retreating back out. Archmage needs to use a Scroll of Town Portal as well. Archmage 5 is the Blood Mage going to be able to get away. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used in time as all of those units are back out again. All right, that Scroll of Town Portal a little bit scary coming in from the Undead Death Knight KraV. Scroll of Town Portal now, I believe ToD actually wanted to continue that fight, that engagement. That's the reason why he was trying to use that Blizzard. And I believe, well, they're just going to try and do another quick trading and exchange again, as these corner locations are just going to cause more and more problems. All right, Mountain Giant with Bloodlust, even looking taller and more dominating than normal. A couple of Berserkers going to get taken out as well. What is happening here? They're just causing a bit of a traffic jam as the expansion is just going to get easily destroyed. Scroll of Town Portal to try and retreat back out as in comes the next battle. All right, Abomination's in that frontline spot. There's that Blizzard coming down. Tauren Chieftain is going to be able to get a stomp onto that anything. No, unable to get anywhere. That Blizzard is just raining down so much damage. Going to see a Flame Strike as well, but not enough. Not able. Oh no, there's that Siphon Mana, but the Impale actually interrupted it, getting a little bit confused there. All right, Blizzard now raining down more Siphon Mana, more taunts coming in as we see all of these units going to be able to. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that ever happen before. Those Mountain Giants were actually picked up mid impale, and then I don't know if they actually landed to hit the ground to take damage. Yeah, I don't see any units off over here. That's going to be incredibly close. Teleported mid-air, and now the Mountain Giants, well, so many of them are in the red. They really need to fight at the Fountain of Health to be able to get back their hit points, since it is a percentage-based heal. But the Archmage and the Blood Mage have plans of their own. They want to be able to Flame Strike and well, perhaps shut that down very quickly as well. Fountain of Health off over here. Let's see what the health regeneration. Look at the health regeneration right there on those Mountain Giants. All those units going to try and engage. There's a Chain Lightning, Blizzard, Flame Strike, all happening right there. However, the Archmage does end up taking a little bit more damage. There goes another Impale once more. Are we going to see another Flame Strike? Siphon Mana, Tauren Chieftain gets in a stomp to try and stop that, as we should be looking at another Flame Strike go down. Are we going to see more Blizzard as well? And fighting at the Fountain of Health, even with level 1 Flame Strike and level 3, is that level, no, level 2 Blizzard. So many problems, so much damage as Mountain Giant after Mountain Giant could end up falling. All right, some high level units already getting taken down here. Blood Mage, however, only still sitting at level 3, trying to siphon mana into that Crypt Lord to give it more impale. Tauren Chieftain being forced to retreat all the way to the back here. Death Knight now pushing its way through with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, as the Archmage still coming in strong with a major Blizzard coming down. Tauren Chieftain falls at level 5. More Blizzard raining down across multiple units as we're looking at the Keeper of the Grove trying to get away, but there is slow across some of those Mountain Giants. No, Mountain Giants able to break free from the slow. Are we going to get another Impale across onto these units? Are we going to get a Death Coil? No, there's an Ankh of Reincarnation on that Alchemist, and well, that Alchemist is not gonna like his second life. It's gonna end pretty much like the first life ended up surrounded, as it gives level 4 not only to the Blood Mage, but that Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord sitting at level 4, Blood Mage sitting at level 4, level 2 Flame Strike most likely on the table. And with level 2 Flame Strike, if the AoE damage wasn't scary before, it definitely is now. In comes a reveal right there. There is, well, triple arcane towers here. This tower is actually looks to be a little bit further away than you realize. As you can see, those dire wolves are just going to easily get taken out because of all of that feedback or all of that summoning bonus damage. Meanwhile, well, a group of 4 headhunters getting caught pretty much out in the open. And are we going to see this Farseer try to get away? Yes, it will. Trying to get away down to, what, 300 hit points, and still being able to retreat back more and more. Meanwhile, in the middle of the field, KraV losing an abomination of his own. Farseer, still getting taken out after that major chase right there. But KraV losing an abomination of his own and down to the south here. Yeah, no real surprise. 2 armies chasing down 1 low hit point Farseer. That's taken out. All right, coming back down here, Fairy Dragons trying to do a little bit of disruption, but I believe KraV and ToD has found their synergy as a team. their high-level heroes and just shutting down a mining pretty much all over the place. They don't actually need to destroy the gold mines yet, as we're going to look at the mountain giants and dryads putting pressure off here as well. All right, peons are not going to be able to do any repairing. If they try to repair, they're just going to end up getting destroyed here, as a couple of peons now try to retreat back out as well. All right, Lich, Death Knight making their way back over. Crippler is sitting at level 4, and it looks like as though this is a war of the base trades now. This expansion here, perhaps the one that's going to be well fortified, and that is it. Collywog, thank you for tuning in, as it looks as though DonSenilo is going to lose his Tree of Eternity. And without that Tree of Eternity, no place to scroll of Town Portal to except for his opponent's base, which is not a location he really wants to try and go. All right, Scout Tower quickly going to get taken down right there. Another Scout Tower going to get taken down, and wow, what is going on here? The Spirit Tower, Kodo Beast all here, and this expansion, or this tech swap into Wind Riders, completely catching these locations off guard. All right, we are going to be going into another put of pressure here. Was that no? It looked like a Toma retraining. No, Staff of Teleportation to rejoin in on the fight here. DonSenilo going to lose this Tree of Life down to the south, as the Death Knight and Kodo Beast now making their way over. Are we going to be looking at a Lich with a Frost Nova or an Impale? Perhaps there's a Death Coil and a couple of extra damage. Wow, down to 9 hit points. One more shot should do it. There it goes, finally taken out. This expansion down to the south here, Wisp trying to repair, not going to work out well. Flame Strike coming back through. The end comes more damage as well. Mountain Giants show up to the party, only to see that everything else has left. All right. A little bit of a French goodbye right there, leaving without really saying goodbye, as the Alchemist getting taken out. Well, we're looking at the Night Elf trying to set up a ninja expansion over here on the bottom left. They know that they need to get more mining in for anything to really happen. Orc army using that Fountain of the Health in the center portion of the map now to perhaps try and keep their hopes alive. Overall supply, we are looking at 36 and 52, going up against, well, 56 and 45. So definitely KraV and ToD with that advantage. What are the options for the Orc and the Night Elf army? Tauren Chieftain quite a ways away from level 6. Wind Riders trying to perhaps go up against the Crypt Fiends, not going to work out well, especially with the Riflemen there. The Wind Riders were a good surprise tactic, but I don't believe they'll be able to follow up all that well. Meanwhile, Mountain Giants with their high hit points and that Fountain of Health in the center actually able pretty easily and quickly, as we're looking at the Wind Riders now trying to escape away. One more final shot finishing off that Arcane Tower here. Meanwhile, more units are trying to retreat back. KraV with an invisible tri-hero going after those units, as the Keeper of the Grove is going to try and retreat back here. Keeper of the Grove does have an Orb of Venom, no Scroll of Town Portal. Units, are they going to try and retreat back? Yes, they are. Where are these Obsidian statues going? They're running a gauntlet of Night Elf units, as we're looking at the units off on the other side here. All right, no Impale ready off on the other side. Another Obsidian statue getting taken down off to the south here, as well, it looks like KraV is just losing control of his units as well. DonSenilo about to set up another expansion over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Invisible Riflemen trying to keep track of units all over the place. And, well, where are these units going to perhaps be going? We do see an invisible or a sorcerer trying to get away, unable to get invisibility cast in time, as the priest could get focused down very quickly. However, the Riflemen showing up to the party and shutting down those Wind Riders in no time flat. Wind Rider down to 421 hit points. Looks like it will be able to escape. Meanwhile, the Abominations rushing on in, going after all of those units. Dryads going to get in. Dryads trying to, well, free up a way to escape on out, as we are seeing just a bunch of taunts coming down across all of those units. Impale, however, many of those Dryads, immune to that Impale, as we're looking at the Death Knight getting surrounded by 4 Mountain Giants, but somehow still able to stay alive. Death Knight now stays alive with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Farseer showing up to the party. DonSenilo, or KraV, could be in a little bit of trouble. Is that Potion of Lesser Invulnerability going to come to an end? Tauren Chieftain going to try to lay down a stomp, but unable to catch up to that Death Knight, as we could see an invisibility cast onto that Death Knight right there. Death Knight saved by a sorceress, as a Scroll of Town Portal going to be landing on in right off to the north. All right, Chain Lightning, Mass Teleport. Archmage has Mass Teleport, able to join in on the fight. 15-second cooldown for that Mass Teleport as it runs on in. Tauren Chieftain down to 700 hit points. Death Knight is still right there. Death Coil onto that Tauren Chieftain. Is the Tauren Chieftain going to be able to escape out? Down to 222 hit points, but able to escape back out. Archmage's Mass Teleport already back up online. And with on a map like this, where you pretty much need to be everywhere at the same time, ToD's ultimate ability could give them the victory, that little bit of extra advantage that they were looking for. Blood Mage having double scrolls of healing, ready to regroup here. ToD had gotten beaten up early on, but it looks like, well, he's going to be able to carry the rest of this game all the way through, as we're still looking at these Mountain Giants looking to back up. This expansion, well, never really recovered from, never really repaired back up to full, could easily get taken out if the Wisp try to just make their way out. They're just going to take one or multiple 2 waves. Flame Strike right there, and there goes the Wisps, all detonated to try and deny a bit of experience. Blood Mage still sitting at level 4 after all this time. But still, that Flame Strike has done quite a bit of damage as the units are now making their way out into the what remains of the main base of the Night Elf. Bottom left-hand side of the map is still being mined uninterrupted. Meanwhile, down here, we are looking at another expansion trying to be added. And, well, also, Franzyzz also getting up another base, his expansion up and running as well. Only 1,200 gold left in that gold mine, though, as we're going to be looking at, well, Ancient of Winds getting taken down here pretty easily. All right, it looks as though they're not too concerned. The guard tower may be able to finish off one Wind Rider right there. That extra bit of damage, still just enough. And it looks like ToD is just sitting in low upkeep this entire time. Flame Strike still coming across, going to finish off more and more of these buildings as well. You can take a look. Buildings taking quite a bit of damage. 20 damage per wave, and I believe that's 8 waves, so 160 damage right now. As we're looking at, well, building after buildings and still continuing to fall. All right, main base, massive number of guard towers. It does not look like that was a great call whatsoever. One sorceress there to cast slow. And, well, yes, there were a number of peons that were lost, but at the same time, at what cost, as your army was invested in instead of defending your own expansions. Sorceress is going to have a very bad day trying to cast a bit of slow before it gets taken out. Slow getting cast across all the units as we're looking at, well, a Scroll of Town Portal, a Scroll of Healing, Flame Strike, army now showing up to the party. And wow, that Keeper of the Grove somehow able to stay alive. That Alchemist, the one with the Scroll of Town Portal, able to take get those units back out. All right, another base now exists somewhere. That is what KraV and ToD know. They're looking for perhaps any possible mining locations. This expansion location once again canceled, as the Alchemist and the Keeper of the Grove right here. This is pretty much going to be a one-sided battle. No easy way to, or no easy way to escape. We're looking at the GG. There you are. There you have it. KraV KraV able to carry ToD during the early portion of the game, and then ToD coming back in the mid game to really just hold his own, even though he had fallen behind quite a bit. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.